Oh my golly freaking gee, man. I was sitting on my bed. I was watching Anora. Beautiful movie. Pure movie magic. And I was so happy and excited to get through this film that I've been dying to see before the Vancouver Canucks played off against the Utah Hockey Club. But right before everything winded down, I got this notification. The Montreal Canadiens have made themselves a trade. And it's a really good one. Take a look at this. The Habs have acquired defenseman Alexandre Carrier from the Nashville Predators in exchange for Justin Barron. Barron is back in the Central, baby, as the Montreal Canadiens go out there and make this trade just half an hour ago. That is it. It is a very short-timed decision, and if we go out there and read the press release on the Montreal Canadiens website, we will get ourselves the scoop. The Canadiens acquire defenseman Alexandre Carrier from the Nashville Predators, and Justin Barron is heading to Nashville in exchange. Habs GM Kent Hughes announced on Wednesday, is he still in Russia? If he made this trade whilst in Russia, that's pretty impressive, Kent Hughes. But he announced on Wednesday the team has acquired Alexandre Carrier from the Predators in exchange for Justin Barron. Carrier played 28 games with the Predators this season, registering 7 points in addition to serving 12 penalty minutes. The Quebec native has logged an average of 20 minutes of time on ice per game since the beginning of the season, including 244 on the PK, second most on the Predators. Since the start of his career, the 6'11", 174-pound rearguard has appeared in 245 NHL games, with Nashville totaling 11 goals and 58 assists. Justin Barron scored 1 goal in 17 games with the Canadiens in 24-25, his fourth season with the organization. The 23-year-old defenseman produced 31 points in 109 games with Montreal since he was acquired via trade in 2021-2022. And a lot of attention is going to be put onto that trade, which initially saw Barron get sent over to Montreal in the first place. Barron, initially a first-round pick by Colorado in 2020, was traded over to Montreal in... Oh boy, it wasn't the Newhook trade. That was a separate deal entirely. Was it the Lehkonen trade? Let's go out there and review this. Yes, Artturi Lehkonen, there you go. Lehkonen, by the way, what a fantastic player for Colorado. He's been amazing. But Justin Barron has been one of these guys, man. A younger guy, right-handed defenseman, right-handed offensively leaning producer who was a really good offensive quarterback in the Halifax Moosehead system in the QMJHL. Admittedly, his numbers were not super amazing when you compare it to some of the other top offensive defensemen we have seen out of the CHL in the past. The Noah Dobsons of the world, the Mintyukovs, the Olin Zellwegers, the Evan Bouchards. Justin Barron wasn't ever producing at that much of a clip, but he was good enough to find himself in the AHL and eventually the Montreal Canadiens system, wherein he posted 13 points in 48 games last year and 15 points in 39 games the year before that. He split the load half and half between Montreal and Laval last season, and this season with the Canadiens he had only scored 1 goal in 17 games, which is definitely not all too impressive. Now, you also have to acknowledge that for Justin Barron, he's a younger guy, he's in and out of the lineup, his spot on the team isn't guaranteed, he's still trying to become a full-time NHLer, but with all the extra younger defensemen also fighting for spots on the Habs blue line, obviously Lane Hudson is in there, obviously Cayden Gooley is in there, but then everybody else was in there too. Jordan Harris was there before he got traded, Jaden Struble, Justin Barron's here, Logan Mailloux, David Reinbacher when he comes back, Arber Xhekaj. There are so many defensemen on the Montreal Canadiens that are just kind of floating around there. And sure, you can say Gooley isn't floating around there, Hudson isn't floating around there, everybody else, though, kind of is, and Justin Barron is a part of that boat. We had seen how the Montreal Canadiens performed when David Savard wasn't in the lineup. They just totally collapsed defensively. And so, with this kind of a move, sending away surplus, Justin Barron is an extra younger defenseman whose spot and role on the team in the next few years are not guaranteed. Sending this guy away for a player whose role is guaranteed in Alexandre Carrier is a very good move. Carrier, Quebec guy, 28 years old, 5'11", 174 right-handed player, $375 million a year till the end of 2026-2027. He was initially drafted by Nashville in 2015. He is a mobile defenseman that has solid offensive and defensive capabilities, possesses an active stick with great hand-eye coordination, as well as soft hands. He exhibits an element of creativity with the puck because he can both pass the puck and let loose a howitzer. He's very unpredictable and can penetrate faulty defense systems with ease. All in all, he is an all-around defenseman that excels in reading plays and creating chances. Now, this scouting report is almost a decade old, but still, Alexandre Carrier was pretty valuable in the QMJHL. He eventually found himself in Nashville. He had a max of 30 points in 77 games played 3 seasons ago. Last year, he had 20 points in 73 games. This year, he's got 7 points in 28 total. Carrier is not going to ever wow you with extreme point production, but he is a very solid middle-of-the-pack, two-way, right-handed defenseman. In fact, I'd go as far to say that his defense is what makes him so valuable. He's a very good shutdown guy. And a lot of replies are going out there and saying the same thing. I hope he can speak for... I hope he's talented. Yeah, that's kind of a joke. He is French, by the way. Carrier is miles ahead of Barron. Fans who don't know him will learn to like him very quickly. Great puck handler compared to Barron. Carrier was a fan favorite in Nashville. Sad to see him go. He is solid defensively with some offensive skill too. Montreal, you will love him. Can you tell me anything about Justin Barron? I know absolutely nothing about him other than he only has 1 point this year. He's average at everything, but not very physical, which was his main problem in Montreal. Good bottom pair D-man, but he has the potential to be a top 4 D-man. Average at everything? Sounds like a Nashville Predator to me. I think he's solid, and he can grow into a contributor if he gets ice time. He was caught up in a numbers game in Montreal with other D-men who are at a similar talent level. Barron has better upside than Carrier, and he's a better prospect, but there's no clue if he'll be able to reach it. Montreal was pretty weak on the right side, so I guess that's the explanation from their point of view. Carrier will be a stepping stone to reach the next level. Barron is a young guy with a lot of potential, never lived up to it because Montreal is already kind of stacked in terms of young D, but overall he's a tall guy that moves the puck well and could work a bit more in his physical game. And so there's value for both of these teams in making this trade. Justin Barron, caught up in the slew of Montreal Canadiens young D-men. Alex Carrier caught up in a Nashville system that is not great. Now Barron is on a team that could hopefully give him more roles and more of an opportunity because they're so bad. What's there to lose in Nashville anyway by playing Barron somewhere in your middle pairing? And for Montreal, getting a guy like Carrier, a Quebec guy, a little bit more of a veteran presence, he is one of the only other veteran pieces on that blue line aside Matheson and David Savard. This stabilizes out the team. With so many guys that are maybes and what-ifs, you need at least 1 or 2, maybe even 3 guarantees. And Carrier, Savard, Matheson, these guys are guarantees right now. Who knows what'll happen as the season goes on if David Savard gets traded, but Alexandre Carrier right now is a pretty good bet for right now as well as the next year or two while he is on this $375 million deal. I love this trade for Montreal. For Nashville, you're getting a lot of value here in the young player in Barron as well. I think this is a great acquisition for both sides. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the Montreal Canadiens trading away Justin Barron for Alexandre Carrier. I gotta watch the Canucks versus Utah, and then I gotta finish up Honora. Man, what an amazing movie that is. But for now, I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.